They often came to harass the old man, smash the old man's glass. That day, after causing trouble, they were about to leave when Mary suddenly appeared and blocked their way. Crying, she begged them to stop, but Lucy refused.
See you in hell, you old woman.
Mary's expression darkened instantly. She furiously shouted for them to get out of her yard. The group shrugged it off and left indifferently, while Mary stood there, crying in frustration. Back in her room, Mary completely broke down. She held a doll in her arms, sitting in a rocking chair, her face twisted into a terrifying expression. In the end, she chose to go on a date with God. Not long after, Mary's husband called those 4 people, inviting them to his home. He handed each of them a letter. Inside was Mary's will, written before her death. Each of them would receive $100,000. They were shocked, unable to understand why Mary would give them money. The old man calmly said, "If you want the money, you must complete a game. Each of you must go upstairs and make a phone call. As long as the call lasts for 1 minute, the money will be yours." The group found it bizarre, thinking Mary's death had been too much for the old man to handle. But Jack was already impatient. He was the first to stand up and head upstairs, ready to play the game. Jack picked up the phone and dialed the number, but unexpectedly, the call connected to a cemetery. After a few beeps on the other end, a familiar yet horrifying voice came through. It was Mary's voice. Jack's head jerked up in shock. In the mirror, he saw his reflection screaming back at him. The eerie sight sent him into a panic. He quickly hung up and tried to leave, but he failed to notice. His body was still standing there, continuing the call. He pushed open the door, attempting to escape, only to find himself in another world. Before him was his younger self, playing at home with his little brother. Suddenly, their father burst into the room in a rage. Jack fell to the ground in fear, scrambling to his feet. He tried to run, but after just a few steps, his father suddenly appeared, shoving him through another door. Jack crashed to the floor. Just as he was about to get up, the door slammed shut behind him, and his father's shadow loomed silently over him. Terror gripped Jack's heart.